And so in terms of this objection-free sales process, the thing about people who aren't interested today, it's not about the appointment. This nonsense that cold call is about getting the appointment is just wrong. It should be about beginning to lay a foundation for a long-term relationship, which is particularly important for carrier reps and GAs. Because a carrier rep has, when you're calling on a broker, you cannot close. I remember calling on a large national insurance company a couple of years ago who was having sales trainers come in. It was all about closing and overcoming objections, which for a carrier rep is the height of stupidity. Nothing personal. But here's why. Unless I have a sale to make today, the only thing that you can get from me is a promise of some future business. That and $2 will get you a grande coffee at Starbucks. Because how many carrier reps, I want you to be honest, how many of you have had a broker promise that he's going to give you the next piece of business comes and goes to a competitor? Right? So the thing about it is build a relationship. Separate yourself by building a relationship. Birthday cards. Find out if they're married, when their anniversary is. Find out what their interests are. So, you know, I had a broker in North Carolina until his agency got purchased, was one of my biggest dental producers. Name is Jim Mazinga. Jim, I couldn't get Jim to give me the time of day. We served on the state board together. I'd call Jim up. I'd go, Jim, I'd like to come by and talk to you about what I do. And Jim would go, Mel, look, a meeting with you is 45 minutes. I don't have time for that. I said, well, I'll buy you lunch. I don't do lunch. Lunch is another hour. That's 5 hours a week. That's a whole day's worth of work. I don't do lunch. Then I went through a program called the Relationship Edge in Business. And one of the things that they talked about is building relationships. And one of Jim's interests was sailing. So I go to Barnes & Noble's a lot. Anytime I have time to kill, I love Barnes & Noble. It's my public library, except I can drink coffee. And so I found a book on the cheap table that was about sailing. I peeled off the $2.98 thing. Put it in an envelope. I said, Jim, I know you like sailing. I don't know if this book is any good, but I saw it and thought of you. Jim called me up, thanked me, said next time I'm coming into Fayetteville, give him a call. Next time I was in Fayetteville, we went to lunch. We spent 90 minutes at lunch just talking about stuff. And then he started giving me business. Why? Because I took the time to learn something about him. Now, to do this, you have to have a good contact manager so that you can make notes. I use something called Zoho, but if I find out that you have an interest, I'm going to make a note. And then I'm going to put a tickler in there. If I really want to get you as my client, I'm going to put a tickler that's going to remind me in 3 or 4 months to go to Barnes & Noble and buy a book. And I'll send that book. It's inexpensive. I mean, the most it'll cost me is $20 if it's something not on the cheap table. But you can do the cheap table. And you will be surprised how far that goes. So it becomes really about building that relationship. Again, then you start to get business, not because you're the cheapest, not because you have the best product, but because they want to do business with you. And that's really where you want to be, whether you are a group benefits professional, whether you're a carrier rep. You want people to start to do business with you because of you. Because here's the thing that we know. People will only do business with people that they feel that they know, like, and trust. So over a period of time, when they're getting an email from you every month about some idea, periodically you call them and go, just want to see if you're getting it or you're finding value. They get thank you cards from you when they talk to you. They get birthday cards. Over time, you start to move up the ladder of this relationship. So that now when you call that prospect in April and go, you know, when we first started talking, the operative word is when we first. They know who you are. They feel that they can trust you because you've been consistent. You might not be on par with the incumbent, but you're getting close.